Hello, this is Mr. Mola with the 1.2 puzzle time. So remember, we use this because this is a good screenshot of the whole lesson. So we'll again be looking at the evens here. So on number 2, I have 16 equals 17 minus t. Okay, so again, this is a two-step problem. So we'll see here. So it's a positive 17. So I should subtract 17 from each side. If I subtract 17, I get negative 1 equals a negative t. Remember, when we solve for an equation, we're not looking to solve for 4t or 2t or negative t. We're looking to solve for just a regular t. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 1, by both sides by negative 1. So I just get 1 equals t. Okay. Number 4 here. This is the one exception to the rule. So remember, if you watched the last video, this is the one problem where I'm not looking to add or subtract first. This is the one where I'm looking to multiply first. So it says divided by 4. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. So I end up with b plus 7. Those cancel out. 9 times 4 is 36. And then it's a plus 7, so I'm going to subtract 7. So 36 minus 7 is 29. All right, let's look at number 6 over here. I have 14x plus 11x plus 10 equals 85. The first thing I should do is combine those like terms. So 14x plus 11x is a 25x. Still plus 10 equals 85. I have a plus 10, so I'm going to minus 10. So 25x, 85 minus 10 is 75. And that's 25 times x. So I'm going to divide both sides by 25. And 75 divided by 25 is 3. Okay, let's look at number 8 over here. So number 8 and 10 are probably as hard as it gets here. So remember, when I have this number in front of the parentheses, I have to distribute it. So I'm going to pass out to both. Oops. Switch to blue. Okay, so negative 4 times a positive 2n is a negative 8n. Negative 4 times a negative 5 is a positive 20 equals negative 28. So when I look at that then, I have a plus 20, so I'm going to minus 20. So I have negative 8n equals negative 48. Then I divide both sides by negative 8. And we figure out that n equals 6. All right, let's look at 10 over here. So 10, kind of the same thing. I have a negative 9z, or sorry, a negative 9 times the 2z, and a negative 9 times a negative 2. So I have negative 18 equals 15z. Negative 9 times negative 2 is negative 18z. And a negative 9 times a negative 2 is a positive 18. I can combine my 15z minus 18z to give me a negative 3z. And then I have a plus 18. So I'm going to subtract 18 from both sides. Negative 18 minus 18 is a negative 36 equals 3z. Divide both sides by 3. That cancels. Negative 36 divided by negative 3 is a positive 12. There's my z there. Alright, and then we got some problems here in the middle where it wants us to write out the equation here, or write out the problem. So it gives us some numbers here. So it says negative 16. So negative 16 plus the quotient, and if you remember, quotient is another word for divided by. So the quotient of a number, we don't know the number, so we'll just use x. So the quotient of a number, x, and negative 4. And negative 4 is equals negative 3. Okay, so here, unlike number 4 that we did, the divided by is just over the x, so we don't have to do that first. First thing we would do is add our 16 to both sides. So I'm going to start writing down here so we don't run out of room. So I have x divided by -4, -13 plus, -3 plus 16 is 13. And then I have x divided by -4. I'm going to multiply by -4. So 13 times -4 is a -52. All right, and the number 14, the total cost for a week at camp is $220. You have $140. You earn $16 for every item you sell in a fundraiser. How many items do you need to sell for each week, or to pay for the week at camp? Okay, so total cost for camp starts off equals 220. Right now you have 140, and you're going to sell items for $16 each, or you get $16 for each item you sell. We don't know how many items we're going to sell, so that's the part we're trying to figure out. So that's where we put in our x. Okay, so this is a positive 140, so I end up subtracting 140. So I end up with 16x. 220 minus 140 is 80. And then divide both sides by 16 because it's 16 times x. So 80 divided by 16 is 5. Okay, and you'll see here on the side, since this is the first one, kind of like this one, it's kind of weird. It has the answers there, so if you do get an answer for one of these problems and it's not there, that means you did something wrong. So always nice to have kind of a word bank there, or an answer bank, even though there's a lot of answers there. So our joke for the day was, why did the muffler quit the car business? And I know we can't fill out all of them because we only did the evens, but I'll tell you right now, it quit the car business because it was exhausted. Ha 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 ha. Get it? Because it's a muffler and it was exhausted.